Just wanted to talk about some of the cars that I had in the past. Now, of course, you know I'm driving my Camaro here, 2016 SS, and I have a 2004 Chevy Avalanche. It's actually a Regency, has a Regency package on it, and it's a cool truck. I've loved it. I've had it, you know, since it was brand new. And that thing, I tell you, it's a tank. It's taking very good care of me because I've taken good care of it. A lot of people, when they see it, it's hard, you know, they have a hard time believing it's a 2004. But you know, I say, hey, if you take care of them, you keep the maintenance up, all of that, they'll last you for a very, very long time. Anyway, my very first car was a 1981 Toyota Tercel. It was actually a Toyota Corolla Tercel. Little blue car. It was definitely not what I wanted, because back then, and that was in what was it, 90? No, I'm sorry. It was in 87, I think, when I got it. So definitely didn't want it at the time. I was, you know, I think I was a junior in high school. Either a junior or maybe a sophomore. Whenever I turned 16, whatever that was, I think I was a sophomore. Anyway, I got that little car, and at the time, the little mini trucks were very, very popular. So I wanted one of those, couldn't get one at the time. You know, parents just couldn't afford it. So I think at that time in my life, I always said, you know what? I'm always going to get the cars that I want, no matter how much it costs, or, you know, if I can, of course, if I can afford it, even if it's on the higher end of my income, you know, what I can afford. So anyway, moving on, my very next car was actually it was a 84 Z28. It was a blue one. I loved that car. I mean, that was, of course, very first sports car, and oh man, I loved it. I had a buddy. We actually had a lot of friends who had sports cars at the time, and you know, myself, I'm a small town guy from a small town in Texas, East Texas. So anyway, a lot of my friends and I, we had these Z28s at the time, and man, we would just get together. There'd be like 10 of us going from, you know, one town to the other, going to the car washes, and just, you know, showing off our cars and whatnot, talking to all the girls and whatever. Oh man, that was just a good time. Anyway, after I graduated high school, I went to college for years, and then I ended up in the Air Force. So while I was there, I bought a 91 Chevy S10. So like that truck, I I finally got my little mini truck or whatever. I don't know why I didn't keep my Z28. I still had it. My parents had it because you know, when I went in the Air Force, they just kept it. But I ended up buying this little little Chevy S10, which was, you know, like I said, it was just a dumb move. Anyway, after that, I got a Mustang, an LX 5.0. Now, I did like the car. When I first got it, I loved it. And it was fast. It was a pretty fast car back in the day. I mean, any of you that know of those times in the 80s, those were some quick cars. They really got the job done. So I had that a few years, and I moved here to the DFW area, and had it a little while, and then I got a 3000 GT VR4. Now, I only kept that for a little while. It was probably, man, it was just like a week. I took it back because the down payment that I put on it, I needed it back to actually go to New York. So anyway, I wish I'd kept the car. You know, it didn't turn out the way I really wanted it to, but hey, it was an experience. So after that, I came back. I couldn't find the car again. So I ended up getting a 96 Mustang, another Mustang, a GT convertible. And it was cool. I actually ended up getting hit on the passenger side on it. And, you know, after that, I just didn't really want to keep it anymore. It was okay. I did a couple things to it. So after that, I got, let's see, I had the Mustang. Oh, I got my 300ZX twin turbo. Now that, I have to say, was, you know, it was my favorite car up until now. I would say that it was my best. I mean, the thing was reliable. I mean, it was a great car. I really liked it. I love the style of it. I think those were some really great cars. And of course, you know, I've talked about it before. I took it to a place in Georgia called Z1 Motorsports. After I'd had it a little while. I think a little while. I bought it in 2000. It was actually a 95. So after I had it, I think it was in 2005. I took it to Z1 Motorsports, and they dumped a lot of money in the engine. Ended up with about 650, 700 horsepower to the wheels, and I enjoyed everything about that car. I mean, it was, I can't even say how much I loved it. Anyway, funny thing about it, after I first took it to Georgia and then, you know, went and got it, picked it up, they had it about, I want to say about 3 months they had it. And anyway, because at the time I was working on a patent that, and maybe one day I'll tell you about that, but I was working on a patent and it was, of course, related to cars. So I picked the car up, and I might have had it a couple weeks. So one night I was out, you know, I mean, this is pretty much a race car. I mean, it was I mean, I had all the internals, all the stronger internals, everything was really, I mean, it was set up to be beat on, really. So one night I was out, you know, racing a few cars and all that. And after I was done, I was on the highway and I started hearing this noise. So initially I thought it was the transmission. So and I rolled the window down and everything, and it just, the noise got louder. So, you know, I'm continuing to go. Next thing I know, the wheels locked up in the back. Of course, in the back, because it was rear-wheel drive. So, wheels lock up, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm sliding down the freeway, and I was doing about 65 or whatever. I'm sliding down, the back wheels lock up, and I'm sliding down the freaking freeway. So I had to jump on the clutch real quick to, of course, you know, disengage the engine, because, like I said, the engine locked up. So when I coasted to a stop, I get out, and, you know, I'm just smelling oil and all this. It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, it just, oh man, that was like the worst thing that at the time that I thought, I was like, oh, it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. So anyway, I ended up having to take it back to, or actually I had to send it back to them, and they totally replaced the engine. They replaced everything. This, now I spent, all said and done, about $22,000 on that work, and they redid everything. So, and rightly so. I mean, because what happened after they took it all apart, what they found was that one of the cap, I think it was one of the cap studs or bolts, which I'm not sure which one they used, on the piston rod had snapped. So, and when that happened, you know, it just pretty much destroyed itself. So anyway, I ended up selling that car. Well, when I got it back, it was still quick, but it wasn't as quick as the first time I got it. I think they were being very conservative on it, just in case. But you know, it's probably just a part defect. It might have just been that one bolt that was just bad out of a whole lot. Who knows? So anyway, when I got it back, it was still nice. I mean, I still loved it. I kept it a few more years. I actually I kept it until 2008. Ended up selling it in 2008. Had to do some things abroad, and anyway, came back home. I had after that a Porsche Boxster. It was okay. I mean, nothing. You know, I'll say this: those cars, I mean, they handled very, very well. I mean, that's one thing about it. I enjoyed it. I can't say I didn't. You know, but it had some issues itself. So ended up selling it, and I got a BMW 335i. Now, I could have liked that car very, very much. I mean, it's a very nice car. It's a very good car, I think, as far as the build of it. The problem with those it was a 2007, and the problem with those is that the electronics, with the direct injection and all this, you know, all the stuff that was going on with it, it was so finicky. I mean, man, if you freaking fart loud, it's going in limp mode. I mean, all the time, it was always in limp mode. I wouldn't get, you know, sometimes when it was really bad, I wouldn't get far down the road before it's in limp mode. You know, sometimes I could just, you know, turn it off and turn it back on, and it was good for a while. But I think what I found was that it was dependent on the type of spark plugs I was using. The last set of spark plugs I used were like these copper something. I got them from AutoZone, of all places. Speaking of AutoZone. Well, anyway, I changed it out, put those in there, and then it ran really, really nice after that. But you know, eventually, you know, as the spark plugs get a bit worn, they will go into limp mode. So you know, really with those, you have to change the spark plugs probably every 6 months. But you know, that really wasn't the main thing, because I really knew that for the most part. It's just a pain in the ass to try to, you know, change it just to remember to change them all the time. So anyway, ended up selling it, and I got this. Oh, by the way, that was a very quick car. I did do some upgrades. I got the JB4 chip for it, and I got the intake, I think it was burger intake, something like that. And I also bought the downpipes, but the downpipes didn't have cats on it. So I ended up, I never put the cats on. I've never put the downpipes on. And from what I heard, putting on the downpipes and a bigger intercooler really, really wakes those cars up. I mean, you're looking at probably close to what this car puts down to the ground. So they were pretty quick, but you know, it's a turbo car, so you know, it's not hard to get horsepower out of those. Anyway, that's my story, my car story. I think I went through just about everything, not each and every one, because many of them were insignificant. Really, of course, the main ones I went over. Now I'm in my Camaro, and you know, sporting the Avalanche. I'm gonna do a video on the Avalanche as well. It's a clean truck. I gotta say, I mean, from the day I got it, when I first got it, oh my gosh, man, that thing. I was looking for a Cadillac, actually, a Cadillac version of the Escalade, or the Avalanche, which is the Escalade, whatever. And I go to the dealership, and one of the guys comes out and they start the truck up for me. Now the Regency, they have upgraded exhaust, basically a Flowmaster muffler on it, and I think it's a bigger exhaust after the Cats. So when he started it up, oh my God, that thing sounded, it was just it's like music, just that boom, you know, it's very that deep. Oh man, it was just beautiful. So I had to buy it, and yeah, I've had it, I mean, like I said, since 2004. It's been a great truck. So that's it. That's my deal. Good chatting with you guys again. Thank you for rolling with me, and make sure you like and share and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Catch you later.